Right, so we're going to look at the what's called the inverse of exponentials. We'll give it a name in just a second. So we want to kind of quickly go through some of the work that we've done already. And in the first situation, we want to know how much, we want to estimate how much college, 1 year of college is going to cost once your son or your daughter is ready to go off to college at age 18. So the first thing that we did is we said, okay, look, we know how much it costs on average now. We'll call that A. It's some number. You chose one of the various that we looked at. We know the rate at which it's growing. It's growing at between 6 and 9%. So you chose some sort of percentage that it's growing by. Let's say we chose 8%, which means the growth factor is going to be 1.08. And then the number of years that this rate is going to increase. So the number of times that you're going to increase by 8%. Well, you're not quite 29 yet, but you will be in, let's say, 11 years if you're 18. And then there's another 18 years that you got to wait because your kid has to grow up. So that's going to be a total of 29 years. And then you get some value that is the approximate or your estimate for how much it's going to cost per year. So we'll call that, as people may have gotten different ones depending on their choices for different variables, we'll call it A sub 29. So then moving on to number 2, it asks you to figure out how much money you need to invest when the child is born so that by the time the child goes to college, you have enough money to pay for their 4 years. So there are a couple of key pieces of information. The first is that the bank compounds your interest at 9% every year annually, and that you're going to make this investment when the child is born, and it's got to pay for all 4 years of college. So we want to sort of write that out. We want to express what we know. So what we don't know right now is how much we've invested. That's what we're trying to find out. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, and let's write it out with all the stuff that we do know. So we know we're going to make this investment, and what's going to happen to this investment? Well, it's going to grow, and it's going to compound at an interest of 9% every year, and that's going to happen for 18 years. And at the end, what does it need to be worth? Well, it needs to be able to pay for 4 years of college. So think about what we know. We know that this is 1 year of college when your child is going to college. So 4 years of college will be 4 times whatever that is. Okay? And so now you can solve for the initial investment, and all you do is you just divide on both sides by 1.09 to the 18th power. And whatever that equals will be your investment. Okay, and that will be your initial investment. So this here will equal I. All right, now last but certainly not least, we're asked how long it will take for the average cost of college to double. So let's kind of think about what we know so far. Do we know the average cost of college currently? We do. That's A. Okay. And what happens to the average cost of college? Well, it's increasing. And how much is it increasing by? Well, it's increasing by, we estimated, 8% per year, which means that every year we multiply whatever the current cost is by 1.08. And we do that for however many years we've got. So let's just call that T. That's the number of years. And so this is what happens, right? Every year we multiply whatever this is by 1.08 and we get some value. But we want to know when that value is what? We want to know when it's double what it is now. In other words, when this equals twice what it does now. Twice what it is now. So let's remind ourselves now, you know what your A value is, right? You've already chosen that. And so you know what twice that is. What you don't know is how long it will take for this A value to be compounded with the interest to eventually become twice what it is. So we want to solve for T. Well, what can we do first? The first thing we can do is we can get rid of the A on both sides. So we can divide by A on both sides. And when I divide by a on both sides, I'm not going to show that there. It'll cancel out on one side, and I'll have 1.08 t equals, and the a's will cancel, will equal 2. And think about this for a second. Pause the video and think about why this makes sense, that I would want 1.08 t to equal 2. It should make sense to you because this is the amount that I will multiply a by. And I want to multiply it by 2 so that it doubles. So I want this to equal 2. And what I need to figure out is what is the variable that will make that happen. I want you to try, solve it yourself, spend about 2 minutes, and then move on. In the right-hand corner, I've written what we're trying to figure out, which is how to make 1.08 to the tth power equal 2, and solve for t.